It's called leadership. It's called commitment to your taxpayers. It's meaning saying what you mean and mean what you say. And no disrespect to any municipality damn far. I don't care about what their taxes are. My responsibility is with the people of Atlantic City, and I've shown the last 6 years that the taxes have been down. You name me another mayor who has a financial record like that.
Thank you. Mr. Khan, question to you is, if elected, would you prioritize continued tax cuts for residents, or would you focus on long-term fiscal stability, even if that means holding or raising taxes?
Well, as I asked you before, why did that article came that next year we're going to have 14% increase? So I have a team. We're going to come up with a team. We're going to have a plan for that. But we should not raise any taxes for the residents of Atlantic City because they're already suffering a lot. Look at the businesses. We don't have enough businesses here, and we have 1,000 vacant property because people are leaving Atlantic City. So there's no way that we should increase any taxes. We should lower taxes for the residents of Atlantic City. But the number one question is, why is the next year the 14% increase is happening?
Moving on to homelessness. Staff and students living in Atlantic City who have witnessed police ask homeless people to leave public spaces have expressed concern over where the homeless are expected to go and what resources are available to them. When crafting policy related to homelessness, how do you balance the need for public safety and positive perceptions of the city with support and dignity for the homeless?
All right, listen, homelessness is an issue. It's not only an issue here in Atlantic City, it's an issue everywhere. But let the record reflect that I'm the only mayor in the history of the great city of Atlantic City to come up with a plan for the homeless. You have to know and understand. We can go out there right now and find somebody that's homeless, and we can say, hey, we got a bed for you tonight, we got services to start for you tomorrow, and if they utter the word N-O, there's nothing that we can do. We got the guys and the gals each and every day going in areas that you wouldn't think about going in to try to assist the homeless, under the boardwalk, deep into alleys and all over the city, and they do a fantastic job. While others talked about it, Mayor Small was about it. During the recent storm, we had a shelter at the convention center for Atlantic City residents that need to get to higher ground if necessary, and the homeless population, and we fed them 3 meals a day, and we had service providers there. That's real leadership, and I was on the ground and in the trenches with them, as I've always been in this community.
Thank you. Same question to you, Mr. Khan.
See, he's again saying that I'm doing this, but why do we have so many homeless outside? And we have to first identify how many homeless we have in Atlantic City. There are so many. Go to Kentucky Avenue right now. Go past the Kentucky Avenue. You have seen they even have the camps there now. Yes, when the storm came, he took care of them. I see on the convention center, there was beds there. Why can't we have that permanent for them? And number two, we don't know. We have to take care of the homeless. We can't just leave them on the street. You have to identify how many homeless we have. We should have a number that how many. We can't just have random people coming and walking on Atlantic City and we don't know, and then we say, oh, it's not my fault. They've been coming from, everything is the government fault when you are running the government. You can't have an excuse that, oh, they've been coming from somewhere. It's not my fault. No, it's not true, Mr. Mayor.
Can I
follow here?
Yes, I want to make this crystal clear to everybody, including my opponent. We do suffer from Greyhound therapy. You're probably just learning that because you're running for mayor. Far too long, municipalities near and far have sent their less fortunate here to the great city of Atlantic City and put a strain on our infrastructure. We do know, because Mayor Small brought the Department of Health and Human Services back, we do know the numbers of the homeless here in the great city of Atlantic City. We do know where they hang out because, again, I'm the only mayor to ever address the situation. And it's a continual work in progress, ladies and gentlemen, but we're on the job per usual.
Atlantic City consistently underperforms on child and maternal health measures. Is the city doing enough to improve health outcomes for vulnerable populations? What more could be done? Mr. Khan. Sorry. Atlantic City consistently underperforms on child and maternal health measures. Is the city doing enough to improve health outcomes for vulnerable populations, and what more could be done?
Well, I think that's the question he should answer again. And we as I see, as I said it before, when we come in, we're gonna have a team. We're gonna see what needs to be done. That's, if a lot of people have that issue, we will resolve it. That's why we have a team. We're gonna, as when I win the election, we're gonna have a team and we're gonna see what problems we're gonna have and what problems we have in Atlantic City. And we should address all of them.
Well,
Question.
yeah, I just take the balance of his time because clearly he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't really understand the issue. He doesn't understand the question. We know that the city of Atlantic City has an infant mortality problem. We work directly with the First Lady, Tammy Murphy, who made that a big part of her platform as First Lady of the state of New Jersey. We have our Health and Human Services Director here, Jared Barnes, who works in that area with our partners at Atlantic Care to get those numbers down. Atlantic Care has a great program that supports mothers pre, during, and after birth and gives them the tools necessary to succeed, including transportation, food vouchers, clothes, and more. All of that stuff is in place because Mayor Small brought the Health and Human Services Department back to the great city of Atlantic City. So we are doing all we can to reverse everything that people say was wrong here in the great city of Atlantic City. And again, it's clear, being the mayor of Atlantic City, you shouldn't have training wheels. You should know how to ride the bike.
We're going to, Mr. Khan, would you like 30 seconds follow up here before we move on? Okay. We're going to move on to flooding. Atlantic City was just hit with a nor'easter, and the risk of coastal flooding and beach erosion continues to rise. What is your plan to mitigate these risks for the city? We'll start with you, Mr. Khan.
Well, a lot of it is it's Mother Nature. We have to give him that credit. But we have to see that how many walkouts we have in all over the Atlantic City, and we have to see if the drain systems are working. And I want to make a statement here. One of his running on his ticket saying, the educated people and the rich people have left Atlantic City because they can't deal with this problem. So now his council-at-large is telling people, all the dumb people and poor people are staying in Atlantic City. I don't think that's the right answer. We have to make sure all the drain systems are okay. We have to make sure all the bulkheads are proper. And yes, if still there's a flooding, there's absolutely nothing you can do, but you can try to minimize the water to come out on the street because people suffer for that. And I want to add one thing, as he said.
We're out of time here, Mr. Zone.
All right, well, nice try of playing divide and conquer. Both my council running mates, our school board team, and myself, we're one. There's no daylight between us. Let me talk about what we've done. We got through the federal government, the Atlantis Avenue pump station, right off of Georgia Avenue. We got the pump station at the old PAL site uptown. We've gotten many of the bulkheads done via a $20 million grant from the state of New Jersey. Can you imagine that? Being on the taxpayers, we did bulkheads in Chelsea Heights. We did bulkheads in Lower Chelsea. Under construction, not now, but right now, is the bulkhead of Chelsea. And then we're going to make our way down to Ducktown to the Atlantic City Expressway. So the small administration has shored up our resiliency here in the great city of Atlantic City, not to mention the infrastructure, fixing the bridges and paving the streets at a record number like no administration before. And today, I made an announcement that I got $5.3 million to pave Pacific Avenue in this
We're out of
entire
time here. Thank you.
Moving on.
We'll have 30-second follow-ups each on this if you want to continue on this topic.
Okay, he went to the convention center to take a picture where all the homeless were there. Did you go to the Iba Avenue and the California Avenue? Did you ask the residents what they suffered in this, because they were almost 3 feet of water in mostly everybody's house, if not a house, on the street. I was there, I saw the people were pushing their cars, and that's a major issue. You should also come and instead of taking pictures over there, you should come and talk to the residents if they need food. Did they suffer? They didn't go out for 2 days. Is people have food?
It's well over his
30
time.
seconds.
All right, well, that's the difference between you and me and you, Mr. Khan. I'm in these streets. I'm in the trenches. Wards 1 through 6, Maine to Jackson, and every neighborhood in between. I don't have to make a campaign stop. That's the only reason why you were there, because you were running for re-election. I'm dealing with people on a daily basis, solving people's problems and trying to make Atlantic City good. And when you say the areas, you're talking about Nevada, Florida, Georgia, Texas, that's been a perennial problem. But with this new pump station and improved bulkheading, it's going to get better. We'll never be able to stop Mother Nature. You just gave me credit for that, so don't try to use your own words and then be critical when I say that we're solving the problem.
Let's move on.
We're doing the job.
Redevelopment. Topic.
Mother Nature doesn't solve. Okay.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Redevelopment. Atlantic City partners with developers and offers tax incentives such as long-term pilot agreements to attract investment. One such redevelopment effort includes the multi-billion-dollar plan for Bader Field, which includes an F1 racetrack, condos, and retail space. Mr. Small, how do you ensure that long-term tax breaks and redevelopment incentives benefit residents and neighborhoods, not just developers?
Because Bader Field will be the gift that keeps on giving. Not only will the city benefit from $3.4 billion in development, let's talk about the jobs, the contract, and the new industry. People say we need a new industry. Mayor Small is providing a new industry. It's the automotive industry. They have an automotive school to give our young kids an opportunity to learn the auto trade, which is very, very valuable. In addition to that, it puts down the rumor that no one wants to invest in Atlantic City. These people don't need Atlantic City. And at the end of the day, Bader Field is our last dream, and I'm going to manage. We skillfully negotiated $100 million sale of Bader Field, plus a $15 million commitment to build a recreation center, which we don't have, by the way, for youth and seniors here in Atlantic City. The $100 million will probably be broken up into 33 years of $3 million a year to inject for tax relief only. And it's going to more than double our revenue base, which will make Atlantic City one of the lowest tax towns in the county.
If elected, Mr. Khan, on this topic, if elected, how would you approach redevelopment incentives? Do you support the plan for Bader Field as something that's aligned with community needs, or would you push for changes?
Well, first of all, I want to say, almost 20 years I've been hearing the casino is coming in Bader Field. Then we're seeing a racetrack is coming in a Bader Field. Now we're hearing the condominiums are coming in Atlantic City. Why the last 6 years nothing has ever done? It's just talking that this is going to happen, now this development is going to come, now this investor is going to come. Why for the last 6 years? He knows he's been mayor, and that's a major property in Atlantic City. Why for the last 6 years has been neglected? And I've been hearing all these things, that it's going to be a casino there, it's going to be a racetrack. Every 6, 7, or 1 year, we see an article, oh, Bader Field is finally getting done. But why have not done yet? So I would see to believe, but I don't think it's going to get done, because we need a leadership who cares and who will make sure the investment comes in Atlantic City, because people of Atlantic City need these kind of big investments.
Thank you.
Well,
30
I
seconds
find it diabolical and crazy work at the same time that this man is running for mayor and is criticizing a $3.4 billion investment for the taxpayers. He doesn't have any relationships. He doesn't know what redevelopment means. And to say that people are not investing, and I just named major national developers, not to mention the Keith Groffs of the world, not to mention the Brian Zubecks of the world, the Mark Colazzo. Atlantic City is going to experience a building boom, and it's happening under the Small administration.
You keep saying it's happening, why it's not happening?
Quick 30 seconds on this, Mr. Khan. Are you supportive of redevelopment initiatives? Just that original question. How would you approach redevelopment?
We talk about the investor. You know, there was a big investor. His name is Rocco. He was doing the Hilton Casino, the old Hilton Casino. Have people seen? It's still dark there. He went away. He doesn't want to do the redevelopment because he does not feel that this mayor is gonna do the job for them. He has so many issues with the permits. You have to have business friendly. You have to give.
Let's do last 30 seconds on this. And then
There's no mayor that has been more pro-development and more business friendly than Mayor Small. Let's talk about Rocco for a second. We supported that project. As mayor, I want everyone to develop. Rocco said that the mayor's corrupt, that the construction official is corrupt. Anthony Cox has a stellar reputation in this community, and I'm offended that an outsider will come in who can't get the job done. And then he said, well, hey, forget Atlantic City. Let the state do it since DCA inspected casinos. Be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. The state denied his permits too.
We've had a few follow-ups on this. So let's move on to the next question
He
here.
always get offended when it doesn't go his way.
The next question is regarding cannabis, the cannabis industry. In the last debate, we discussed the particulars of marijuana legalization. Now that 4 years later, there are some concerns that Atlantic City may be oversaturated with dispensaries, to the detriment of the existing businesses. What is your position on this, and how would your administration balance attracting cannabis investment with ensuring the long-term success and stability of those businesses? Mr. Khan.
It's a very good question. See, again, how many dispensaries do we need in this city? We have more dispensaries than casinos. And has he talked to the residents of Atlantic City? They are fed up with these dispensaries. Every corner, you have more I have a feeling very soon we're going to have more dispensaries than the convenience stores. Everywhere is a dispensary. We have to have a full stop on that. Okay, I'm not saying that we should close the dispensary that is already there because they have invested a lot of money. But we should not allow any more dispensaries. That's a big problem in Atlantic City. Everywhere, look at the Martin Luther King, the old Rite Aid. I was passing by, I see a sign, another dispensary. Everywhere you go, you see a dispensary. It has to end now. The residents of Atlantic City does not need more dispensaries.
All right. You're partially right. But again, when faced with a decision, I've never smoked marijuana a day in my life. I never touched it. And I don't like it personally. But as mayor of the great city of Atlantic City, I don't govern on feelings and emotions. I took a chance on marijuana because if I would have said no, we would have had to wait 5 years. And then I ticked every mayor in New Jersey off defending Atlantic City when I said, put a moratorium on marijuana, have it in Atlantic City for 3 to 5 years. Let us get all the revenue. It didn't work. Do we have too many dispensaries? Absolutely. Yes. However, I told City Council and Creta, we're not going to prevent people from living their American dream and cut them off at the local level. Just like you, coming from another country, living the American dream and becoming a successful businessman. That's what it's all about. It's about opportunity. And that's all we did. But however, we're going to put a cap on it, and the ones that are there will be there. And again, it's not what we want it to be.
Thank you.
But all businesses don't make it in the first 5 years.
Let's move on to the next topic. We're going to ask about addiction now. So drug overdose deaths in Atlantic County have gone down in recent years, but addiction remains a concern for the city, and many advocates say more needs to be done. What is your approach to addressing the addiction problem in the city and maintaining a downward trend in fatalities? And we'll start with you, Mr. Khan.
See, again, the drug is a big issue in Atlantic City, and I think that's why we should have more youth programs. I think from the first ward to sixth ward, we should have some kind of a mayor cups for basketball, for hockey, or for baseball, football. So people, instead of being on drugs, people should be, they should see each other once we should have a tournament every 3 months. So instead of our youth is on drugs, or our people, they're worried about the drug, they should be more worried about how we're going to win that tournament. And as a mayor, we should have a prize for that, like maybe a $5,000 for all the tournaments. So that's the way we can resolve the drug issues. And whoever is on drugs, I think we should have facilities to see if we should take care of those people who are on drugs.
As a career youth professional and a taxpayer and a lifelong recreation advocate, I'm offended by your statement, as everyone in this room should be offended. That basically if our kids, our babies aren't playing sports, they're on drugs. You are severely out of touch, Mr. Khan. Severely. And you would know, I see a recreation legend right here, Mr. Michael Bailey right there, who dedicated his life to PAL and the city. The city has more recreational opportunities from wards 1 through 6, Maine and Jackson, and every neighborhood in between. We had a team full of kids from the 5th and 6th ward that went to a tournament in Delaware that came in 3rd place, but you wouldn't know that because you're out of touch. We got a recreation program, and as far as dealing with addiction, we put our opioids funds to great use. The first thing I did was hire a career drug counselor, Keith Dunn, to the position to help mitigate those circumstances. So we're on the ground getting things done.
On the topic of New York City casinos, Atlantic City's been bracing for this impact in or near New York City. How can the city help mitigate the potential impact of Atlantic City's customer base, revenue, and also its residents who have jobs in Atlantic City casinos?
Mr. Dunn, we'll start with you on this.
That's why, see, we have a major threat that the New York is opening the casinos. That's why I said it in the beginning. We should build a local economy where people don't feel danger that there's going to be more casinos. How long are we going to live in that danger? The Newark might open casinos, Pennsylvania might open casinos, New York might open casinos. That's why we have to have a strong economy in Atlantic City, that we should not be worried about these things. But that's a major threat. And when the next governor wins, the Jack Shirley, which I have a good connection, and we're gonna see what we can do, that we can build a stronger economy, that we don't have this fear of casinos coming in other cities or other states. That's why, again, we need to build a strong local economy, so we don't have to worry about these threats every once in a blue moon. Oh, that they're going to open another casino.
Thank you.
See, first of all, once again, this is Mr. Let me have a conversation, let me see what we can do. This is Mr. Doing the job and doing the job effectively. And I'm offended that you just stood on the stage and said that Pennsylvania might have casinos, which they already do. And New York might have casinos, which they already do. The threat is the new casinos. And Mayor Small showed the leadership when I penned an op-ed on the national stage that was written in the New York Daily News. And we simply said, don't believe all the promises of casino gaming, and that cities build itself, not casinos. We have a great working relationship with the Casino Association, and we all know that we need all hands on deck to fend off any competition. That's why we need to diversify what we offer, have more economy. We have marijuana, we have the automotive industry, and more. You know, offshore wind was on the table, but we know what happened with that. So these are the things that Mayor Small is doing to protect the industry and his jobs.
Thank you, and we are actually at the hour mark now, so we are going to end with our closing statements here. Mr. Small, you have 1 minute for your closing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you know me. You saw me operate under COVID when you couldn't see it, you couldn't touch it. I was the first mayor to get testing sites for local people. We fed 3,780 senior citizens 3 hot meals a week. Talking about the personal crisis earlier, I show up every day for Atlantic City. And I'm going to continue to do that because we want to win this election, and we want to win this election in a big way. We talked about the things that we've done, from tax relief to youth and senior programs, to more, to keeping the city safe and clean, to investing in small businesses, to investing in residents' education, and more importantly, investing in human capital. So Atlantic City, it's been a great 6 years, and we need another 4 to do more. The small administration is where all your hopes and dreams are made of. So on Tuesday, November 4th, we want you to dream big, vote small, re-elect Stephanie Marshall, Pat Bailey, and elect M. Suel Ahmed, all the Democrats in Column B, and school board. 1, 2, 3. Give me my quote. I'm Mayor Marty Small Senior, and I approve this
Let's
message.
please hold it. In your 1 minute closing statement, please quiet for his closing statement.
Well, I want to tell the residents, you have seen how bad the city has run for the last 6 years. We have homeless issues. People don't feel safe, walk on Atlantic Avenue. The economy is down. That's why I'm running. If the city was doing so good, I would be standing right here. We need to build a strong economy. People need to feel safe in Atlantic City. Look at his slogan again. Vote small, dream big. People have seen what we have dreamt for the last 6 years. Now it's time for change. please come out and vote for me, November 4, column A, all the way, school board 4, 5, and 6. And I will fix Atlantic City that people will feel safe and people will feel proud one day that what they have chosen. So thank you again, and thank you Stockton University for hosting this event. And I will fix Atlantic City together. Thank you.
On behalf of the Youth Center for Public Policy at Stockton University and the Press of Atlantic City, I want to thank both candidates for a productive discussion of the issues. And thank you to the viewers both here